I believe in Paschal Donohoe. I've listened to the attributes outlined by Mary and by Ray, but there are others. The first of these is courage. Politics is always about people, about their lives, their families, their children, their concerns and their anxieties. It is not a profession for the faint-hearted. It is a profession that draws down the wrath of many and the credit of few. It is a profession that is lonely without end, that requires a constant mix of decisions and is flush with emotions that you wouldn't even believe. Such a man is Paschal Donohoe. He has the attributes that you need to win in this constituency, this famous constituency of Dublin Central. I don't want to go into a rant about the politics of why we're here today and the situation that we find ourselves in. But it is important to say this. You're now faced with a national debt of 100 billion, tripled. You have a deficit this year of over 20 billion. We're told that taxes are online to keep a deficit of 20 billion in order. You have 434,000 on the live register, 60,000 emigrated, 70,000 more jobs to go according to the ESRI, and the possibility of another 100,000 emigrating. That's why Paschal Donohoe is standing, because he believes in his heart the principles espoused by the Fine Gael party, that the plans and the strategies that we have in place are not just for politics, they are for our country and for our people. And that's why we have outlined 3 central pillars of what we believe is necessary to change our country and make it again a place that we can be proud of. The first of those is to start at the top and the centre and deal with politics, to change the way we do our politics, to reduce the numbers in Dáil Éireann, to ask the people for their authority, to change and abolish Seanad Éireann. That's why Paschal's leaving. Change the way we govern our country and make it more effective, and have our Constitution Day within 12 months of taking office, and show the people that the Forum of the People in Dáil Éireann is a centre of responsibility, of accountability and of transparency, where ministers answer questions, where there's no hiding at arm's length behind organisations and agencies that answer to nobody, and that if they do answer, the situation has long been past when a Dáil representative is entitled and should be entitled to get information on behalf of the people that they represent. We're going to change all that. The second pillar is to transform our health system. We're spending 20 billion at the moment in a two-tier system, private and public. 16 billion on public, 4 billion on private. Yes, for those of whom it works well, it works very well. But for the vast majority of people, the stories are horrendous. It's not that we don't have good people in the HSE or in the medical system. We do, some of the best. But the system strangles their initiative, strangles their creativity, and strangles their work rate. What we're going to do is change that system threefold. Firstly, eliminate waiting lists. The same way as in Northern Ireland, in 18 months, at a cost of 36 million, they eliminated 58,000 of the waiting lists. Secondly, we're going to accelerate the provision of primary care centres throughout the country so that people will, in the first instance, not have to go to hospital unless they should go to hospital. And the third and final element of this is that you make the patient central to the system, introduce the best elements of the Dutch health system, which is not mythical, which is not in theory, which works for 17 million people every day to their benefit. And the more that hospitals do, the better the results are for everybody. So you're never going to have a situation where consultants get paid and don't read x-rays And that kind of situation will not be allowed to happen, because it cannot happen where there's proper scrutiny and where the patient is central to the system and where they're paid per patient, per procedure, scrutinised in proper fashion. The third element of our transformation of the country is to invest in jobs. What we've set out is a twofold plan here, to take 70,000 off the live register through a whole series of things, from second chance education to dealing with apprenticeships to giving people the opportunity to work in private and in public fora, even though they're on the dole initially, and pay them a wage for so many hours per week and give them the dignity and the sense of what it is to have a job. There were 5 suicides in my town in 6 weeks. I recall speaking to Father Peter McVerry some time ago. And he said to me, the people I work with have no hope. In many cases, they're lost causes. And what we try to do, he said, is to bring them to a situation where you can have them understand that they have a value and a contribution to make. And at the end of that process is the little piece of paper, the certificate that says, I am worth something. I can make a contribution. There is a career opportunity in front of me. And inside 5 years, I want to see a situation where when people think of Ireland abroad, they will look at Ireland as being a small country that's vibrant, that's energetic, that's flexible, that is capable of riding the waves of change that are coming with robotics and genetics and biotechnology and the internet and all of these wonderful areas that hold so much promise. I don't want to see a situation where children are addicted to drugs at 10 years of age. I don't want to see a situation where they can't read when they leave our schools. I don't want to see a situation where 16-year-olds apply for job seekers allowance and are still on the dole in their 50s. This is not the kind of Ireland that we can become. This is not the kind of Ireland that I want to see. And if we eliminate all of the waste, the obscene waste of money that's in there, if we make value for money central to what we have to do, if we make ministers answer to the people in the House of Parliament, if we invest in our jobs creation situation, then we provide answers and careers and hope and confidence and belief for so many people. But all these things are fine sentiments. And fine sentiments do not win elections. They never have. They never will. What will win elections are candidates who are not afraid to stand out front, who are not afraid to stand up for their party because they believe in it. But that you've got an organisation that can deliver the vote for the candidate. I commend Mary and I commend Raymond. I've often used him, if that be the right term, as the broadest Cavan accent holder in the middle of Stony Batter and the mouth voting for him. That's the transformation that Fine Gael have brought about here, where we stand quality candidates, where you back that with an organisation and you point out that these are our messages, not in this party's interest, but in our country's interest, in our towns and our cities and our people. And our people. Dylan said one time that politics is a vocation that draws you into stormy waters as well as calm. He said, if you don't feel that, get out as quickly as you can. He said, what is good to dream dreams and to see visions. It is always well to remember the fundamental maxim of successful politics. And that is, united we stand, divided we fall. This constituency has never been as united. Paschal Donohoe, Senator Paschal Donohoe, soon to be Deputy Paschal Donohoe, follows in a long line of distinguished bearers of the Fine Gael flag in this constituency. From Luke Belton to Hugh Byrne, to Pat Lee, Michael Keating, to Alice Glenn and Jim Mitchell. It is your challenge, as it is mine, to see that Fine Gael breast the tape in Dublin Central in first place.